All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rakoya, from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you with another impromptu lesson, another in transit. All right, and the title of this in transit is Things Are Getting Hot on the Home Front. All right, things are getting hot in the home front. All right, and as it is, the heat is starting to turn America, Babylon the Great. Things are getting a whole lot more serious concerning the economy, and the state of the society as a whole. And all that's been prophesied through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shema Shai. And now we're starting to see these things come to a hedge. We're starting to see prophecies, come to a hedge, in our day and age, which is a very beautiful thing to behold, through the spirit. And I came across some information, earlier today, on the tariffs, that Trump has imposed on Canada, and how that's going to affect the economy, and I wanted to get this precept. Bear with me real quick. All right. I want to get this precept before I get into these numbers. All right, this is 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 22. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall be suddenly found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid." All right, and right now we're coming up on that time to where these full storehouses are going to suddenly appear empty. We're speedily approaching a famine, because these tariffs are going to largely impact these grocery stores, and the produce. But I came across some information, on what exactly it's going to affect. And one of the things that is going to heavily affect here in America, or Babylon the Great, is gas. It says Canada is the biggest foreign supply of crude oil to U.S., shipping $98 billion worth last year. Mexico is second largest at $12 billion. Experts guess that the tariffs mean gas prices are going up. All right, and that very fact, is going to spell financial crisis for a lot of Americans, because the fact of the matter is, a lot of these Babylonians are living check to check. All right, that is the average lifestyle, here in America. The average household income, especially for Israelites, is somewhere around 25,000 a year, and that is both parents. Both parents, somewhere around 25 to 30,000 a year. All right, so when you impose these tariffs, all right, and you cause the gas prices to go up, all right, that's going to put a financial strain on a lot of families. All right, which is going to cause sedition. This is going to cause people, to rise up. It's going to cause people to get angry, all right, and come up against the 15th chapter. All right, but another thing that is going to really impact is car production. All right, now it says here the U.S. imported $79 worth of cars from Mexico. Excuse me. Make this damn turn. All right, it says the U.S. imported $79 billion worth of cars from Mexico and $31 billion from Canada last year. But more than that, the supply chain relies on parts crossing the border. $81 billion in auto parts come from Mexico and $19 billion come from Canada. All right, right now, Trump has had it out for both countries as we speak. All right, and as we speak, Mexico has just closed down its borders. All right, which I was going to do a lesson on that as well. But Mexico has just closed down its borders. Okay, which is going to affect heavily the car production, the auto industry, which is how a lot of people get to and fro work, which is how a lot of people get to and fro their destination, their families and whatnot. Right, which is going to take a huge toll. Not only is the gas going up, but the price of cars is going up. All right. It says you have engines and car seats and other things that cross the border multiple times before going into a finished vehicle. You throw 25% tariffs into that, and it's just a grenade. All right. Another thing that's going to be heavily impacted is computers, cell phones, and other electronics. All right. It says electronic devices are among the top imports from China to the U.S. $31.6 billion in just electronic computers were imported in just 9 months in 2024. All right. Moving on, it says clothes and shoes. All right, the U.S. imports billions in clothes and shoes from China, including $7.9 billion in footwear in 2024. So we're talking about clothes as well, all right, being affected. Okay, now we're moving on. It says tequila and whiskey. Yes, tequila and mezcal are imported from Mexico, $4.6 billion and $108 million respectively. The U.S. imported $537 million in Canadian whiskey in 2023. It says so margaritas and cocktails are getting a whole lot more expensive. All right, so is bourbon. All right, bourbon. The Kentucky bourbon industry could get caught in the trade war. All right. Alongside that, it also says here avocados and other produce. All right, it says 47% of vegetables and 40% of fruits are imported from Mexico. 90% of avocados in the U.S. come from them as well. All right, groceries are going. All right, so when we go into this prophecy in 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter and the 22nd verse again, it says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." All right, and we're approaching that sudden. All right, we're approaching that sudden with these tariffs, all right, being imposed on these different countries. All right, thus prophecy is going to be fulfilled, and these are the things that we've been warning, about through the spirit of Shai, starting with our elders, apostles on down. We've been warning of a time just like the one that we're living in, or at a time to where the Lord is going to bring forth judgment. All right, and not just one, multiple. All right, he's going to continue to rain down judgment. All right, but until he returns. It's quite that simple, man. And all these things eventually, all these strains being put on the economy and being put on the society of these people are eventually going to lead to sedition. All right, I can't get it right now, but it's in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. All right, where it says, there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard the kings nor princes, but the power shall be in the course of their own hands, roughly paraphrasing. All right, which means that there's going to come a time to where people aren't going to hold in regard what DJ Trump has to say anymore. They aren't going to hold in regard, what these different mayors or legislators have to say about, what's going on and how to govern themselves. Rather, they're going to take control of their own reality, by force. Which means that they're going to force their ways into houses. They're going to force their way into grocery stores. They're going to force their way, into different family houses to get the resources that they need. And it's going to turn into like that movie Bushwick, where it's going to be all out civil war. And these are the times that the scriptures speak about. All right, when you go into the word sedition itself, it means a concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. All right, and boy, are we getting ready to experience that on an astronomical scale. I mean, on a scale that's not even that's not even able to be comprehended right now, man. All right, you read Daniel the 12th chapter. All right, the first verse, it says there shall be it's going to be like a time never before since there was a nation. All right, the time that we're coming into is completely foreign. All right, it's completely uncharted. And that's why us of the hopefully elect, we have to have uncharted faith. All right, we have to have, faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that he's going to deliver us from these perils. All right, and we have that hope. That hope isn't void in us, it's active in us. We have an active hope that the Lord is going to continue to deliver. All right, because to say that the Lord is just going to deliver, us in this up and coming time is to negate the fact that he's been delivering us up until now. The Lord has been continually delivering us, up until this point. We're coming into that time to where the deliverance and the mercy on the Lord's elect from these evils is going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful, bro. I'm talking about beautiful. The way the Lord is getting ready to save, the way the Lord is getting ready to judge, the way the mercy is getting ready to play out for the Lord's elect, the way the standard is getting ready to be uplifted, the way this society is getting ready to collapse, is going to be a thing to put in the record books, man. To say the least. And it is going